was cleaning my closet and guess what I found?
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
I found my drawings when I was a kid. And I found my mom's drawings when I was a kid too. So let's compare, yeah? So this is mine. And I've said, I am the best, better than the rest. I wasn't wrong though. If you think that was questionable, let's take a look at my mom's one, yeah? Behold. I wish I was making this up. I'm not even joking. By the way, that's me when I was a baby.
Mom, where were you? Why didn't you save me? Why didn't you protect me? I was dying and you didn't even notice. You were supposed to be there for me.
So the picture behind me is depicting some creepy police sketches, and one of them is a little off. Number 8 is actually a sketch of a leprechaun spotted in Mobile, Alabama. But I want to know, which one of these scares you the most? Which one is more uneasy? I don't know. I feel like number 2, I'm just like looking at it and I'm just like, oh, I wouldn't want to encounter that in real life. Looks like some sort of humanoid trying to blend in as a human. I believe number 4 is associated with Celine Delgado Lopez. She was some sort of mystery woman on this news television about true crime. But I believe it's also associated with some Louisiana killer. Is number 3 a biker? And who drew number 1's hair? That doesn't seem possible. Number 5, definitely really scary, giving me American Horror Story vibes. Number 6 isn't too bad. Number 7 definitely looks a little menacing. As we talked about, 8 is the leprechaun spotted in Mobile, Alabama. And 9, low-key looks like Dwayne The Rock Johnson with some hair. Let me know which one of these police sketches are your favorite. If you guys have a favorite police sketch, comment below, let me know. And as always, these videos are for informational and entertainment purposes only.
So check this crazy ass loophole I just went through. I nutted in the condom. Put water in the condom. Okay? Then you want to take it a step further, put the condom over a light. At that point, you're going to see a homemade lava lamp. Not capping though.
Someone recently left a comment in one of my videos saying that they wanted a creepy camping story. So I found this story and I hope you like it. This girl said that when she was around 12, she had a group of friends and they would always do sleepovers. They would all take turns. So like whenever it was another time for a sleepover, they would be a certain person's house and they would keep going down the list. So a new girl came to school and she joined her group of friends. However, she could never host sleepovers because her mom was like disabled, and in the middle of the night she would scream and it was scary for them. They did tell her that they can just skip over her and she can continue going to everybody else's sleepovers, but Samantha really wanted to host a sleepover. So Samantha thought, what if I hosted our sleepover at my aunt and uncle's house? But instead of being indoors, we can have like a camp out and we could stay outside. Obviously they all agreed because it sounded like so much fun. So Samantha's aunt and uncle live out in the middle of nowhere, so they did have to ask for their parents' permission, and thankfully they agreed to let them go camp out. So the day comes and all the girls are at Samantha's house getting ready, getting flashlights and tents, and that's when Samantha's older brother came into the house. The girl that's telling the story didn't know that Samantha even had an older brother, but she could tell that all the other girls had a big crush on her older brother. I guess because of that, the older brother started talking to the girl that's telling us the story, and he was asking them what they were doing. So she starts telling him that they're gonna go camp out at his aunt and uncle's house, and she says that when she says that, his face, it looked like he was concerned. He then asks her, is there an adult that's gonna go with you guys? And before she could even answer, he just looked at his sister and said, hey, is dad gonna go with you guys when you go camping? But Samantha came and grabbed the girl's hand and pushed her away from him and said, leave my friends alone, without even answering him, and he left the room. So as they were going outside to get in the car to go, she sees that her brother is out there too, and when he sees them, he gets closer to all the girls and says, hey, when you guys go spend the night at my aunts and uncles, please be very careful and do not leave that house at nighttime. And one of the girls is like, what do you mean? We're going out there to camp out. We're gonna stay the night outside. That was the whole point of us going. And then he said something to them very strange. He told them, you guys should not stay outside because out there on our aunts and uncles' land is the devil. And all the girls were like, what the hell? But the girls telling us this story was like, the devil? So you're telling me that the devil lives at your aunts and uncles' land? And they all started laughing and making fun of him. She says that she didn't mean to say that and for them to start laughing at him, but he was like, okay, well, whatever, just please take care of yourselves, but I've warned you. She says that on their way to the girls' aunts and uncles' house, she wanted to ask the girls what they thought about his warning, but before she could ask, they all started talking about how cute he was and all the crushes they had on him. But she mentions that when she gets to the aunts and uncles home, she started feeling weird. Like even when she got there, the wind was eerie, like something felt negative there. So at this point, they had been inside the aunts and uncles home and they had the chimney going and the living room looked comfortable, and all of the girls were like, well, what if we stay in here? Like, it's so cold outside, why are we gonna stay out there when we can stay in here by the chimney?
Oh yeah, one more thing. If y'all see me on Love Island, mind your fucking business, bitch. I'm trying to find love, bitch. Y'all had y'all motherfucking chance.
My mother put me and my best friend to sleep. As she left, me and my best friend looked at each other confused on why my mother looked so healthy. Why isn't the poison working, Abby? I woke up late last night seeing a shadow of a man outside my window, but I live on the 5th floor. My stepbrother was staying the weekend with my mom's stepdad and me. He was staying up late that night and saw me run from the kitchen and up the stairs. Only problem is I was sleeping. I breathed in horror as my reflection didn't smile back. Fuck that one. I woke up to the knocking on my door. I looked up and saw my daughter. She was with her friend for the week. That's a fucking no for me. Ever since I was a child, I never liked being alone. Thankfully, the smell of my friend's rotting flesh is comforting. I was talking to the mirror as usual, tapping on the glass. Then I heard a loud tap on the other side. I hate these mirror ones, they creep me out so bad. I told my boyfriend that I hate jump scares for a reason. I wish he'd listen to me while cutting the vegetables. I hope he alright. I looked into the mirror only to see my sister behind me. I told her to go to bed before I went upstairs to my room, but then realized my sister was at my grandparents' this week. Fuck that. I overheard my parents talking. Weird, I thought, and walked over and opened the closet door. Their bodies are still in the closet.
6 years ago, a medium told me if I did not leave my house, that something was going to kill me. Summer 2018, I moved with my son to North Carolina where his dad was stationed. He had been living in the house that we were renting, but we didn't have anything, just the couch that we were sleeping on for a little bit because we were gonna order a bed and it was not gonna get there until November. So we decided we were just gonna sleep on the couch. Every other room was completely done and ready to go. 2 weeks later, I started at my new job at Lux Salon in Raleigh. I started the same day as a girl named Veronica. Found out the day before I started that I was pregnant with my daughter. What's relative about that is at night when you first are pregnant, when you're pregnant the whole time, you have to pee a ton. And my husband at the time and I were sleeping on the couch because we didn't have a bed until November, and it was September at this point. And so the first time I have to go back to the bathroom in the middle of the night, my eyes are adjusted, I sit up and I start walking towards the bathroom, which is like down the hallway. And I feel a heaviness, and then I feel like I'm walking through a black shadow. I freak out, I flip on the light really fast. Obviously there was nothing there, and I kept that light on. The first instance of something like spooky happening. But at night, things would fall off of the walls, and it was terrifying to me. So I'm telling everyone at work, like, you know, I'm the new girl, I'm weird, but I have all this stuff happening to me. So I'm discussing everything, and Veronica's like listening and stuff, and we're becoming, you know, like buds. She's clocking it. I didn't know her mom was a medium, and she didn't disclose that, nor do I think that necessarily she told her mom any of this. One night it got really scary because it was like 8 o'clock at night, we're around the dinner table and there's banging on the side of our house and there's no windows on that side. So I text my neighbor, I was like, hey, are you banging on the side of the house? She's like, oh my gosh, no. And then suddenly the banging was upstairs above us and in my son's room. My son had been screaming like twice for whatever reason at night, which is very unusual for him. So that freaked me out too. So my husband runs upstairs and he can't hear the banging, but I can hear the banging. And I'm like, he's like, there's nothing. I'm like, it's banging still. He runs downstairs and the banging is on the side of the house again. I don't even remember what we did that night. I blacked out. I don't remember anything. I don't even remember telling my family it was happening, but I told the girls out at work. Okay. I was like, listen, this is happening and this is creepy. I'm pregnant. Finally, we have a bed, okay? So I don't have to do the spooky bathroom trips at night. So we have a bed, we live upstairs. One night when I was pretty pregnant, I shot up in bed because I was being choked. And I'm sorry if I'm talking about this like very nonchalantly. This is my 4th time recording this. The last time I recorded it, like just 5 minutes ago, the audio was gone. So I should actually check and see if the audio is working. Okay, it's working. Wake up, I'm being choked. And it's not like reflux like you get when you're pregnant. It's like I felt like someone was choking on me. I sit up so fast. I'm like, it's hard to breathe, but I catch my breath. And I'm like, and I just think, okay, reflux. Because I'm scared. I don't want to admit that there's something spooky going on. I had a relationship with God, but not really. I wasn't praying to him or anything like that. Like the relationship was just not there. I wish I had a relationship at that point because I feel like I would be able to just like cast the demons out. So I tell my neighbor who's like a little bit woo woo, and her best friend is also woo woo. They're like witches, and they're like, listen, there is such a heavy presence in this house. Like it's terrifying. Got my cross, my baby, we've got the windows open, we're saging, I'm saying that our Father, you know, because I'm Catholic, that's just like what I know, that's all I know. Everything is good and clear until I give birth to my daughter. I was in so much bliss, and I started getting very sick. I had rashes all over my body, I couldn't bend my fingers, like it was very progressive. And I kept getting more and more sick. I went to the emergency room. I went to my OB/GYN. Like no one can figure out exactly what is going on. So I get on this like antibiotic type of thing. And I start feeling good on Friday. Monday, June 10th, baby. is when my AVM burst. I didn't know I had my AVM at all. So all I think is I have a massive headache. It was to the point where I could not go to sleep. And I have my whole stroke story on my profile. You can go and listen to it. So I'm gonna really skip ahead. Go to the hospital in June. I'm home by October. I realized because of my stroke, I can't go up and down stairs. At this point, like, I was in a walker for assistance. We need to buy a house. We need to buy a house. We buy a cute little ranch, and I tell all the girls at work, like, oh my gosh, like, I bought a house. And Veronica goes, wait, so you're not in that house anymore? I'm like, no. She goes, okay, my mom wrote you a letter. When I say this letter blew my mind, go to part 2.
Today's story is about these life-size dolls. I don't know why she's looking at me like that. I'm not scared. We good. We're not scared. We are not scared. These stories make me so happy that there's so much shit under my bed that there's no room for monsters down there. So this lady says that when she was little, her father gifted her this life-size doll and she was in love with it. She loved this doll so much that she has kept it over the years and actually stored it underneath her daughter's bed. Mama ever did that shit. Anyway, she says that her daughter was actually really scared about that doll being stored under her bed. Why wasn't it under your bed, ma'am? And this is a story that her daughter tells her happened. So she wakes up in the middle of the night and thought that it was so weird that her arm was hanging between like the space of the wall and the bed. She thought it was weird because there had never been room there, so like it was always just the wall, her bed, no room for her arm to like go down there. When she tried to pull her arm out of that crack, she says that she felt like a little plastic hand grab it and pull it underneath the bed. After she finally pulled her arm out of there, she said that there were marks of a tiny hand on her hand. She was so scared that she ended up running to her mom's room and waking her up. Obviously, she tells her mom that she doesn't want that doll underneath her bed anymore. So her mom says that she did take that doll from underneath her bed. However, she still has it stored. She doesn't want to get rid of that doll. The way it would be burning if I had heard my child tell me that this happened. Like, not to be an asshole, but like, what does the mom think is gonna happen when one day she's not here? She thinks her daughters are gonna keep that doll forever. Girl, I will bury you with that doll because if you think I'm gonna keep that doll hearing what I just heard, was that too much? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But like, if you love it so much, I love you, jeez. It was nothing. It was the wind. I don't know what that sound was. I live in a townhome. I have neighbors. They're okay. We don't share any walls with them, but that could have been them. Anyway, what do you guys think about the doll? Because nothing happened in my office. Nothing happened here.